Plaintiff Danielle Dorsey says growing up, her mother was a drug addict, so she had no adult supervision in their home. Danielle claims she dated the defendant and they have a daughter together, but she's suing him today for unpaid child support. Defendant Ron Green says he met Danielle online soon after he was released from prison, and he encouraged her to get her own place and taught her how to drive and cook. Ron insists he's a good father, and he gives Danielle money whenever she asks for it.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, to give you some background about myself, I grew up in South Florida in the early 90s.
What part?
West Palm Beach, Florida. My mother ran the streets, drug addict. My father drove trucks over the road, so I barely had any adult supervision or guidance. So being with that, I had no guidance as far as to making the right decisions and who I date and basically be around.
Who raised you for the most? Who assisted in raising you?
My grandparents did, but my older cousins were the one who babysitted us, me and my brother. So in 2009, I ended up meeting my daughter's father.
Okay, how did that go?
In the beginning, for the first 3 months, it was great while we were dating. But as soon as I moved into my apartment, things kind of like, I guess, the real him, the real me came out. And for the most part, for the first 3 months, it was fine. But until I would say August of 2009, when I moved into my apartment, that's when we had our first fight. It wasn't serious enough for me to think to get out of the relationship. But 3 months later, I would say, I got pregnant with my daughter, Nevaeh, in 2009, October 2009.
How have things
October.
gone since then?
Since I had my daughter in 2010 to currently, he's been great. We haven't been in a relationship. So as a father, he's been okay spending time with his daughter, but financially, it has been a struggle.
Plaintiff Danielle Dorsey has a child with the defendant, who claims they met online soon after he was released from prison.
Let me hear from you, sir.
Well, I met Danielle in 09, like she said, 09. I met her online. I was fresh out the penitentiary. I did 10 years in the penitentiary. And, I was just playing around on my phone and met her. At first, it was good, like she said. And I encouraged her to get out on herself and get her own apartment. I taught her how to drive, taught her how to cook, and all these other things, But like she say, it took her.
How old was she when you met
her? She was 19.
It was 09, so that's 10 years ago. And
yeah,
how
19,
old are you
20,
now?
30.
All right, so go ahead. 20 years old. You say you helped.
Yeah, I helped her get herself together.
Adjust to a
but
adulthood.
It didn't work out. And I told myself, I can be a good dad to my daughter without being there. So I left the relationship before my daughter was born. I'm a certified CNC machinist, so I've worked. And when she first
Tell me about your relationship with your daughter. You need to tell me some good things before you start giving me these lies about why you can't pay your child support. She said something to that effect. So you need to talk that up more than this defense why you're not giving her any money. I can hear that's where you're going immediately. I haven't been able to do that. Well, tell me what you did do. You need to start there. She says you were a decent father. Tell me about your relationship with your daughter.
I love my rainbow. I mean, she gets spoiled rotten.
Pardon?
My rainbow, that's her nickname.
Okay, and you've seen her often over the years? And
yes, I get her every week, every weekend, or every other weekend.
Good. All right. And you have some influence on her as terms of a young lady? And
yes, sir. I speak to my daughter.
Give her best advice you can as a man. I'll be honest, that's one of my shortcomings or failures. I didn't know how to advise my daughters very well. Never had sisters and never had a dad, so I didn't know what I had all brothers and no dad, just mama. I didn't know what to tell my daughters other than show them an example. Both of them are lawyers, so obviously I had to provide a good example.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't know what to say. And the mother did such a great job, but I knew to tell my boys, and they do well also. But quite frankly, and some other men might want to know, how do you help develop your daughters? What type of things do you talk about? My daughters didn't want to talk about no boys, that was for sure. So when my boys, we talk about girls. So just curious, what type of things do you and your daughter talk about?
I talk to her about real life stuff. I talk to her about being good at school and getting an education.
Did that.
She won't have to go through the things that I went through
Did that.
or her mother went through. You know, I just try to be honest with her. I don't believe in whooping her, so I talk to her.
Good.
Like that.
All right, so I've done that, counsel with them and on their careers and on their education, even when they were coming up, and suggesting punishment if they didn't do their best. So I say suggesting because I ain't had no clout. Linda had all the clout. All right, so it's good to hear that. So you want to tell me now about how he owes child support?
He, the evidence that I have, Your Honor, because I have my child support evidence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So over the years, it's been a struggle?
Yes, sir. Over the years, he worked, like he said, he done CNN machinist. And
that's good money, sir, so I don't want to hear this poor mouth. Go ahead.
When he doesn't work, I don't receive any child support. So that's how he became in the real.
When he worked, however, every time you knew of him working, he did pay his child support?
Yes, sir,
All
he
right,
did.
Good. He's a good man so far. She's even saying that you only failed to pay when you weren't working.
Right.
That's understandable. I assume you were getting unemployment, however, but the baby should be the last one to suffer. Right. You kept eating.
Correct. Correct.
I don't get unemployment because I quit my job.
Why? Now you're making yourself look bad. No, maybe you had a reason. Let me stop.
Because I want to run my own business, and I co-own a studio with my brother Heavyweight Hustletainment, and we trying to lift that off the ground. Now I still get money when she calls me and tell me she needs something for my daughter. She still get it.
How many hours a week do you work with your
I
business?
work 24 hours on this. I'm serious about this. I want to be a boss. I'm tired of taking orders.
I'm sure you're exaggerating about 24 hours because it's humanly impossible not to get any sleep ever. So I know that you're exaggerating.
Plaintiff Daniel Dorsey has a child with the defendant who claims they met online soon after he was released from prison.
The point I want to make, and that's why I was asking how many hours, is that you should never sacrifice the feeding of your children for some ambition of yours. In other words, you had a job. You should have kept that job and did everything you needed to do outside of that job, meaning keep your job. I know a lot of people want to expand their career, go into another business on their own, but they shouldn't quit their job until you have another income. That doesn't make sense. Work at nights. Work on your business at night. Work on your business at lunchtime. Wake up at 6 a.m. and go to the business. Then go to your job at 9 a.m. Then get off the job at 6 p.m. and then go work on your business until 3 a.m. You know, at least get you 3 or 4 hours. You don't quit your job, sir, and not pay your child support.
Can I say
you
something,
give them something every now and then. I'm gonna stop you because you look and sounded so good. And I'm not gonna let you make yourself look any worse. Judgment for the plaintiff. If you owe the child support, you said it's because you're unable to pay when you're not working. She agrees that you pay all your child support whenever you are working. You told me some nonsense about quitting your job. I'm disappointed in you for doing that. It's not for me to be disappointed. I'm disappointed that you would allow your daughter to suffer because of your ambition. That's all, sir.
Thank you.
Give that some second thought. Good luck to you. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
No, I just hope he takes the judge's advice and goes ahead and get some type of support to support his child and also chase his passion and continue his dream.
Well, I just want to say, even though I'm not working and she not getting child support like that, my daughter is still very well taken care of. My daughter and the 2 girls she got that's not mine, I still get money and they still get what they need.